Episode 6 of the Porto Diaries. On today's show, we're going to take a closer look at how our training has developed with Porto. My name is Daljit. Welcome to Bustthenet. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to stay in touch for more videos like this. The Porto Diaries is a chance for me to manage a site that's got quite some depth. We want to focus on training, so you won't see too many playthroughs on this. In fact, I haven't done a playthrough yet. It's the 6th episode, so essentially we have some more or less 2 episodes a season where we talk about the general training of a team, and then we track and see how the players have done, whether we've needed to mentor any more players. Let's talk about the basically it's all about building a legacy. So with this club, they started out with 20 million. It's now March 2021, so several things would have happened in the game by now. Firstly, the academy would have come through. We'll see some players from the academy. Secondly, we can see we want to be in a good financial position. Overall balance at the moment is 120 million. Thanks largely to our transfer strategy. We made 99 million from our transfer strategy. 96 of that came from transfers. 3 million came from loans. So the whole idea here is to develop a model for a club to get them financial success and then put them in a very strong position to dominate Europe. Now, the challenge with doing a save like this is that you continuously need to be on top of 2 things. 1, your plan for rejuvenation of your squad. 2, you've got to be continually making sure that you're making money. So you have to have that plan in mind, right? Okay, every season you're gonna have to at least have a profit margin of about 30 million to 40 million. Some seasons you might do well, but generally you want to make sure that your profit is nothing less than 5 at the very least, right? After you pay for wages and everything else, you need 5 million, because that 5 million is going to be used by your academy. So you want to make sure that that is always in place. So what are the several things that we do? First up, let's look at the finances so far with the club. Where are they right now? Our transfer budget now is 83 million, largely due to the fact that we did pretty well in the transfer market. Transfer history, you can see that we've sold close to 99 million. We've made cash clause transfers 96 million, so the other 3 coming from loans. Estevez is gone to Barcelona. This was part of our plan, right? So my plan was to make sure that we could sell our players. Estevez is gone for basically 59 million because everything is on installments and on league appearances. So once he makes a few league appearances, we'll get the balance. We also get it on installments. Other than that, we've got Bruno Costa and Musa Marega going off to Sheffield United. Decent transfers, decent money there. So essentially, for every single player that we've let go, we made a profit from them. And we've also added some new players. Some of these players we wanted to, right? Von Balmus, goalkeeper. We needed a goalkeeper because the existing goalkeeper, Augustin Marchesi, not as good. But what we've done with Augustin is interesting. Put him on a 12 million transfer asking price, right? So we're asking for about 12 million for him. Some club comes up and says they want to do a loan fee for 300,000 per month. I went, okay, cool, yeah, take it, because that's more than his wages. His wages are 1.7 million, so they're giving me close to 3 million, 300,000. His wages are around 100,000 a month. So yeah, this was a no-brainer. So we made quite a lot of money from him. Then we also managed to sign 2 players. Luis Pereira, free transfer. It's a future prospect, not doing so. I mean, in this game, basically, you get fullbacks. Whatever you do, you stockpile as many fullbacks as you can. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying as many, but you want to make sure that you're always on the lookout for good fullbacks, because the left back position is one of the hardest positions to fill in the game. So we're out there looking for fullbacks right now. Defender center, he's not too bad as well. Rated, I think the coaches rated him as a 4-star, right? Potential 4.5. I didn't care about all this. I just went, fine, we'll take him first, we'll develop him and see how he goes. Interestingly enough, if you look at his attributes, right, you'll notice that his jumping reach is only 8 for a central defender, but his height is 1.84. I do believe his jumping reach is going to improve over time. So in terms of his training, We put him on strength, which will improve his jumping reach. His work rate needs to go up as well. So 1 season of strength training, and the second season will be endurance training, because endurance actually improves work rate. So these are the 2 areas that we want to see him improve, because he has decent mentals. He's got very good determination, decent decisions. Aggression is not too bad, right? I mean, this is, so I don't have to train him to be a stopper. He's already got the aggression for a stopper. The only thing I'm worried about is if he has got this, he likes to bend rules. That's the only thing in here that I will be a bit concerned about. So far, it doesn't seem that he has that trait in him, so pretty happy. So we've got a lot of players. We also signed Carlos Abad as cover, and now we've got quite a number of goalkeepers. Okay, the other thing here that we are looking at is the development of the under-19s. Now, some people, okay, this is a bit complicated, right? I mean, some people have found this very confusing. Okay, if you go to, when you first take over the Portuguese side, Porto, you will notice that you have an under-23 squad. But if you go to overview, you see a blank here. And then people go like, where's the under-23 squad? I mean, the under-23 squad is already taking part in a competition. How can you tell? You look at the fixtures, you'll find that they are here. They're taking part in something called the Premier League, International Premier League, right? Or another way of finding out would be to come here, and then you go down here. There you got Liga Revelação 23, which is the under-23 league. Now, they've been taking part in this. The question is, who are the players who are taking part in this? Now, if you go to each match, you'll actually find out, you'll actually see who is playing in these matches. As you can see in the Porto under-23s, this is Ribeiro. I know who Ribeiro is. He's in my under-19 squad. So the players that are actually taking part in your under-23 competition, which is this competition, are all your under-19 players, right? So all of these players are the under-19 players. The issue I have with them playing here is your under-19s already are taking part in competitions, right? So if you look here again, for the under-19s, if you look at the fixtures, they are already taking part in the under-19 Group A, UEFA Youth League, and yeah, so they're taking part in their own competitions. There are quite a few friendlies, so it's not too bad. But what you want to do is you want to check out their training calendar, because you get a better view from the training calendar. Here in the calendar, you can see all the matches they're taking part in. Here, they're playing the Sporting Club under 19, Braga's under-19s. They are playing all these matches very soon in March. In April, you can see all these. These are not the under-23 competitions, right? So what I plan to do, because I don't think my under-19 squad is very, very big, right? We have very good players. We've got like 4 players that are pretty decent. What I plan to do is I plan to move these. You can see Diogo Ribeiro, the player that we saw just now. I'm going to move some of these players into the under-23 squad. I'm going to start populating that side once I get more and more players. So right now, what we're doing in the game is we are very focused on training these boys. On top of that, we've got the development center has come in with the news on the players that are coming through from the academy. Before we get there, this is another player that I want to track. So he's Justin now. He's in the. I moved him. He was in the under-19s. I moved him into the FC Porto B squad. The B squad plays in basically they're the reserves. They play in another tier of the league championship, right? So basically, it's like they're playing the championship. If the main team is playing the Premier League, they're playing the championship. So we've got this player. We want to see him develop too. Coaches are pretty excited about him. He's decent, but if you look here at our backline right at the moment, we've got another youngster that I want to promote, Levi Faustino. He's also another 19-year-old. Coaches reckon he's potentially 4 with a still shaded 5. So basically, he could be a potential 5-star player. So the goal here is to develop him. As you can see now, he's only 2.5 stars. So his CA is not too bad. I mean, he hasn't reached his full potential yet. So We moved him into, he is actually moved into the senior squad. So I moved him into the senior squad so he gets exposure in the senior squad, because he's reached an age where he should be playing for someone. He has to be playing some matches. So we've moved him into the senior squad. He's already made 4 appearances. His average rating is 7.28, even for the senior squad. So that's not too bad. Because if I'm looking at my senior squad, I'm looking at my defenders, we currently have a slight problem in Porto. Okay, I've been very aggressive about selling players. So what I've got left with is Thiago Lopez, who's my left back, who's no Alex Telles. So he has got a lot of work to do in order for him to become better. Then we've got Diego Late, who is 22 years old, our main central defender right now, whose jumping reach is only 14. So this guy has got a long way to go. His height is 1.88. So what I'm going to do with his training is, right now I'm putting him on strength training, which should improve his jumping reach. And then we've got Thomas Estevez, who needs a rest now because he's been playing almost non-stop the whole season. He's 18 years old. He's been performing fantastically. I know some of my friends are managing Porto and they're complaining about Thomas Estevez. They say he's inconsistent. It largely depends on the kind of tactics you're using as well. He's in my team. He's already had 7 assists and scored 5 goals out of 39 matches. So he's having a blinder of a season. He's really playing well. He's progressing as well. He's taken a knockdown, so he's gone down about 3.5 stars. He was playing to his in December last season. Towards the end of December, there was a lot of rotation. So I think I figured it out. So I can't overplay these players. So he has to have rest. So right now, this is the thing that I have to do. This is a very, very good time for me to bring in the youth players, right? So I've got to double up on my backline. So what I've got now is Levi Faustino has been promoted. Thomas Estevez now is going to get more rest because I'm going to start playing this guy who's been brought into the first team from the under-19s as well, Ruben Amaral. He's not somebody we're going to say he's going to light up the league, right? But we have to bring him in. And Chancel Mbemba, if he gets injured, I'm in a lot of trouble. So he's 26 years old. He's basically my jack of all trades. He can play as a fullback. He can play as a central defender. I use him as a fullback most of the time. So he's used as a fullback on either the left flank or the right flank to give Estevez a break. So if I use him on the right flank, he goes in on the right flank and Estevez takes a break. We also have other defenders here like Renzo Saravia. Yeah, this guy. Defender, wing back, right back, not fantastic. I want to get rid of him. So I'm going to try and play him as much as I can. He's gotten injured. The idea here is to see whether or not some other team is going to come in and make an offer for him, which makes it very important for me to start thinking about my scouting strategy. So here you look, I've got a scouting list. Of course, my scouts, being the dubious scouts that they are, they keep coming up with these 30 years old players, which I'm not looking at. So I come in here. I'm not interested in any of these players. So I'm only interested in players that are 19 or whatever the age can be. So I've got Bruno Mendes, central defender, play for Corinthians, 9 million, it's too expensive. Borja Garces, 3.8 million. No, I'm never signing you. So you can come out of here as well. 20.5 million, not really interested. So we've got all these players that I'm looking at. The scouts are out. Assignments, you can see the scout priorities. We've got a few players that my scouts are scouting at the moment. We got this player now. He's no longer going to be scouted. We're gonna cancel this assignment. We got Marquinhos, striker, 77 until full knowledge. We might sign this player. Then we got this Dutch goalkeeper. Goalkeepers not really keen on any at the moment, so we're gonna cancel this assignment. I've got a player from Orlando Pirates, 67% scout recommendation. Is basically about, when he's 67, is almost close to 5 stars, right? So our South African scout has come back with this player. I'm going to sign him because players from South Africa are damn bloody cheap. So we might sign him. So these are some of the players that we're looking at. In the short list, I've got players already in my left back position. I've got this player, Pablo Sanchez. Right, the scouts discovered him. Personality, model citizen. I am very keen on signing him because his physicals are not bad. His acceleration is a bit poor. His agility needs work. He's got good determination, work rate, tackling, his positioning. He's basically a pretty good no-nonsense fullback to begin with, right? So, but we're going to have to train him over time. But if I make an offer, they come in with a percentage of profit from next year, 40%. So I'm not interested. I'm not interested in percentage of profit, so we're not going to bother. We got another fullback here, Facundo Bogadro, who's also been scouted. Fairly determined, not too bad. Also decent attributes, except this guy's got better acceleration out of the gate. So we just have to work on these areas of the game. So I'm probably going to go in and make an offer for him. Question is, what is a fair offer? So looking at the overview, we valued at 30k, estimated cost between 1.8 to 3.4. There's a very strong possibility if I go in for like 2 million or 2.4, they're going to give me percentage of profit from next year, which is something I don't want, right? So we're going to make an offer, and I'm just going to go in immediately at 5 million, right? And it has a minimum release clause of 3.5. Yay, that's very nice. Okay, 2.5. Let's add installments of 12, 3, and let's take this up to about 1 million. So okay, installments don't carry the number forward, right? So apparently I was hoping that it would. I didn't know that. I'm learning something today. So we gotta go in for 3.5. We'll just pay 3.5 and get it. Take him from this club. Okay, we'll make an offer for him. So Bogadoro. Then we got another player here called Otinho. He is also another interesting fullback. So I'm going to sign a few fullbacks. Like, if they're not good enough, they will probably play my B squad or my under 23 squad. And I'm going to start giving them a chance to develop. So we got another fullback here. Transfer, make an offer. This is a percentage of profit from next year. There's no minimum off. No, I definitely do not want this in the contract. It's 8 million. I think we went up to 8 million for him. I'm going to reject the offer. This is too expensive. Although on paper, I believe this player is better than this player, right? So, but we do not want to spend 8 million on players. So we've got one player. So the right back position, we haven't found any other players. We also got this player called Arne Meyer with Hertha Berlin, but his value at 21 million, so we won't be signing him. Celtas, then we got this player Marco Antonio for Shakhtar, value at 7.5. No plans of signing this player. Here we've got one player contracted to Famalicão. This guy is a defensive midfielder, looking pretty solid for his age, right? Only thing missing is his aggression. He's already a star player in this squad. So if I were to sign this player, it will probably be in the they don't want to sell. We can go in and make an offer because I want to definitely get new players now. So this is one time where I probably will have to jack up the offers. 3 million. And I'll have to remember how much I paid for these players, because we want to make sure that at the end of the day we make a profit from them after that, right? So after league appearances, after he's made 50 league appearances, we'll give you another 5 million. So by then he should be half decent. So this is 7, 9, 10. That's 14 million. We'll bring this down. We'll bring this down. 12.25 million. It's a lot of money for a youngster, and I'm just gambling. So in the future, what will happen is, if I do play that player, I play him, I won't be building a tactic around him. I'm just going to use him, and if I do sell him, I'm going to have to sell him at a profit. Strikers, we've got all these players now all our news is coming. Marquinhos, not too bad. He can play as a pressing forward, I think, but he's got the right mentals. So looking at the coach report again, he's a potential 5-star player, right? So what we're gonna do with him is with Marquinhos, he has the potential of turning into something. Off the ball, 12. I'm not worried about the rest. I'm looking at off the ball. I'm looking at the attributes that it begins with. So we're gonna transfer, make an offer. Again, he has no minimum release clause. Agent 38,000. Asking price is wait, let's see what the asking price is. 6 million. So we're gonna go in at 4 and 2, right? So for this player, transfer, make an offer. We get 5 and installments, 12 monthly, 3 installments of another 2.5 million. The reason I'm willing to pay so much is because I do not want to be straddled with profit from next sale. I want to keep the profit from next sale. All right, so these are some of the players that we are going to make an offer for. But what's interesting right now is the development of our youth team. Okay, so now let's take a look at our staff first up. Do I have a head of youth development? I do. I think this is the head of youth development. Yep. So let's look at the personality of a head of youth development. So his name is Ferriner, whatever his name is. He's only fairly determined, right? Okay. So we got a fairly determined head of youth development. But our youth squad training coaches are pretty good. So let's take a look at our youth candidates that have come through. So we've got quite a number of youth candidates, but not a lot that we can see from the bottom here, right? I'm not interested in all these players. Rui Ramos, I mean, let's just find another view for this. I could do it from another squad view, but it's okay. All these players I'm not going to sign, but these are the players that are interesting. So if you've got a goalkeeper who's a model citizen, approach to sign him. First time I've had a goalkeeper who's a model citizen. So negotiate his contract and finalize the deal. Leonardo Diaz, this is not too bad. I think his personality is unambitious. Okay, we'll sign him, and then he's only 18 years old. He's already 18 years old. He's a long way from being as good as the other players, so we're not going to bother with him. Lucas, I'm only interested in the young ones. Right, so we got this player. Defender, right, Lithuanian. Okay, pretty. He's got good positioning, good tackling. We're going to approach to sign him. Another youngster that we want to... Basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm expanding my youth team, right? So we got another 2 more players here worth looking at. One is Hugo Branco, fairly professional as well. What is his starting height? 1.83. Central defender. We're gonna sign him as well because I just want to make sure that we have enough players in the youth team. Then we've got Eduardo Casal. Another fullback. Man, fullbacks I will always sign. He has a resilient personality, so we'll sign him. Starting personality is not too bad. So these are all players that are going to sign on youth contracts. So the next thing we want to do is we've signed all these players. What else do we do? I have already gone to my board and told them to improve training facilities again. So we just had 1 round of training facilities improved. I've gone to the board, asked for another round because you want to continually be improving this. We remember that our financials are very, very good. We are making 3 million from loans, right? So I know for a fact that we have the money to keep going to the board for training improvements now. Plus, we made 96 million from player transfer fees alone. So we've gone there, we've gotten our training facilities upgraded. What about the training and how our players have done? Okay, so we're not gonna focus on every single player because there's too many players. Just to reiterate how I track my players, I make notes, right? So I create a note like this, and then a blue dot will appear beside the player's name. So we got David Vieira, who's basically he's just been promoted, right? So he was in the he's just made only 3 appearances this season, so he's not played a lot of games. Let's take a look at Estevez, his development, his progress. He's one of the main players attributes. We've been playing quite a lot. Now if you look at this, right, it'll just tell you 1 2 1 2 1 2. It doesn't look very exciting, does it? Okay, but let's show you something else. Okay, this is nothing. There's no number here, right? But since he's joined the club 15 to 16, that's 1. It's not showed here because this date is from August. right? So here it says 12 months ago from this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So it only takes I don't know which, I mean, I wish this was like since he's, we started training him, but it doesn't say that. So here we got anticipation. You can see his anticipation going from 10 to 12. We can see his concentration as well. His concentration has gone from 11 to 13. That's 2. So there are a lot of attributes that have gone up. His determination has gone from 11 to 13. Here we got first touch has gone up from 10 to 12. So we've got a lot of development in this player, 14 to 15. That's just Thomas Estevez. What about Romario Barrio, the big player, the one and only? He's gone from wonder kid now to be a cultured midfielder, right? His development as well, his progress has not been too bad. If you look at his attributes, again, you got to do this. Otherwise, the numbers don't show up. Okay, so let's look at one area of his game that I've been wanting to improve, his vision. So he's gone from 13 to 15. He's off the ball. He's gone from 11 to 13. It doesn't give you a number here. Let's go for decisions. It goes from 12 to 14. It won't give you a number here. Let's go for anticipation. It's gone from 11 to 12. No bloody number here. Okay, let's go to passing. It's 12 to 15. So since he's joined the club, training, and we've been training him, I mean, if I were to look at all the totality of the sum total, right, it's going to be greater than 30 to 40 attribute points, right? So he's since we've started training him, right, since we started this training program for him, he's done pretty well. He's really coming along. He's shooting for the moon right now. His leadership 10 is also gone up, and we've also started training him, and we got him to learn try killer balls because he's got passing. He's got the necessary attributes because he's got passing, vision, decisions, and a bit of flair, and he's got good first touch. So he can definitely play killer balls. So we're going to make him do killer balls now. And his finishing is also going up because he's been trained as a Mazala on attack. So we got him to on passing now. Remember, I remembered early on, right, when we first tried to train him and I wanted him to learn killer balls, they said he didn't have the attributes, right? So we put him on passing training. So his passing is short up. The moment he's passing short up, his technique short up, we can start giving him killer balls training. So this is something, I mean, I've written about it in my book. I've broken everything down in my book, which attributes are needed for which trait. So I want him to learn killer balls. So they've got this string of attributes. I think there are about 5 of them, and you need to make sure that the 5 are hit. So we've done that. So he's gonna start improving. His training rating is 8.85. I'm very, very impressed with him. Now, what about the players that barely get a chance to play? David Vieira, he's just been promoted, right? So he hasn't really been playing a lot of games. So what about him? Coaches, I don't think they're too excited about him. Right, look at this. If we compare him to the rest of the squad, there's another player called Vito Ferreira who plays a lot of games. And in terms of his progress, yeah, he's now beginning to play football and is shooting up, right? So his current ability is improving. His attributes, well, I'm not going to be surprised if there's not too much, but this is what I mean by sometimes when you have a player, you don't want to overplay them. So he doesn't play a lot. He plays a few games, but he gets enough time to do training. So his attributes have all gone up. His concentration from 6 to 8. Then his anticipation from 10 to 12. His first touch from 13 to 15. So another player has shown a lot of improvements. So here, it's so important, right, that when you want to develop your players, don't get hung up on the fact that the moment you promote them, they have to play every single game. They don't. You have to have a very good rotation strategy. You got to be, and you want to avoid something that I've fallen into the trap of, which is I overplay my players. Romario Barrio has been overplayed to I've overplayed him like crazy. So his average rating is dropping. I've got to now come up with a new tactic. So I've come up with a different tactic, which is I call it Apollon, right, where I can rotate more players into this system. So I can start rotating my strikers because I need midfielders. I need other players to develop. So I'm using Apollon. I'm using my Triton system when I want to get my strikers developed, and I'm using another Firefox system for when I want to develop the fullbacks. So my fullbacks get love right from this system. and my fullbacks get love from this system. So in these two systems, the fullbacks are absolutely phenomenal. So if I'm looking at Estevez's performances, right? So looking at his form alone, you can see how his form. So I do not want his form. If I get 6.7, I'm very pissed, right? So I need him to get like 6.9, 7s or 8s in his game. So whenever he plays an inverted wing back, some of the matches not too bad. Against Ferenc, he had a 7.8. Against this team in 8.2. Then against when he played him as a inverted wingback against Sporting Lisbon, he had 1 assist. We're looking at his passes, 64 passes. His completion rate wasn't very good. So I'm looking at a lot of things right now to improve these guys. I want them to be playing more key passes. I want my fullbacks to become playmaking fullbacks. So our training right now has gone in that direction as well. So if I'm looking at my calendar, I've got playmaking fullbacks inside my schedule as well. So so that's basically a quick update on where we are. Youth save is my development save is coming along pretty interestingly. Now we reached a point where I've got to have a solid scouting strategy to go out and get some more players because we don't have enough. So now this season is all about getting some decent results on the board. In the Champions League, we have been able to beat Napoli in the first knockout rounds. We're through to the second round. We don't know who we're going to be playing. We also have suffered our first defeat in the league already, which brings our unbeaten streak to about 54 games, and that was it. So nothing to shout about, but we expect to lift the title this season. But now it becomes a bit of a juggling act of making sure that my players develop at the same time. So it's and I need to build up my squad right now. So that's the goal now. This season is all about, we've sold our players. Now let's make sure that after looking at the youth candidates coming through, what are our players like? Are they good enough? And then I'm going to scout for more players to add to our pool of fullbacks, because we want to become a club known for developing world-class fullbacks. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Porto Diaries. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. You can always look me up on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their continued support of this channel. You make these kind of shows possible for the rest of the community. You guys take care. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.